Hey guys, it's Dustin here, the Pro Picker, and we have some exciting news. So we actually just bought another house. So that happened. We didn't really expect it. It happened a couple days ago. Realtor.com sent me a notification of one in an area we've been targeting for investment purposes for quite some time now, and we've just missed the mark on actually closing up the deal multiple times. This one we've rushed over with our realtor right away. 3-bed, 2-bath, about 2,000 square feet, and it has a little bit of a twist to it. So I'm going to be asking for your guys' help in the comments below at the end of this video. I ask that you watch the whole thing so you kind of get the whole context of it. We're either going to move into it and owner occupy it and use it as a combination for living space and resale, or we're going to rent it out, and we want to see which way you think we should go. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go over to the footage now of us checking the place out.
I tried to book a showing. Everything was taken.
So they have other they have a
4:45 to 5.
They already have all the showings.
Yeah, they have a bunch of showings. I guess throughout the rest of the evening too.
Well, let's see how this one is. Maybe we could just offer and be like, let's call it. You know, like
yeah. I mean,
okay.
I'd imagine depending on
150 right now. Let's go, kind of deal.
My first thought is depending on how the inside looks. that maybe going more than that.
Maybe what it'll go for more.
Probably.
Yeah. But it's not. It's worth a shot at trying to just say, "Hey, we'll give you what you want."
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a nice front door.
This isn't bad. Some baseboards. It's got hardwood, so that's just gonna be refinished. That's kind of a big deal. It's this newer tile. It's not bad.
Oh, concrete board.
It's got a little bit of sway right here, but I think this is a 50s ranch. Here's a newer furnace, supposedly. Is there a light in here? Ta-da! Temp star. Whoa, that is a step down. Oh, so this is a former 2-car? I think this is a 1.5, like that.
Well, I mean, they could easily have it be a 2-car. If you think about, you just put a bigger garage door.
Yeah, you'd have to do one door.
Yeah, because this is clearly big enough to fit 2
I think it would be one door where, like on Morningstar, where you had to pull off to the side on one of them. It wouldn't be like perfect side by side. Like you'd have one that you pull off just a little bit.
Here's the barn. Such barn.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I kind of like this.
Yes,
Yeah.
this and this could be functional if we were to owner occupy. Is it
from old? That's previous.
What's that? Oh yeah, from previous roof issues. Just hit paint over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the roof looked pretty solid from the front at least.
Oh. You replace
What?
this floor right here?
Yeah.
Oh, looks like
The handle.
yeah.
Oh, is this a master suite?
It said that it could become a master suite or whatever. I mean, this used to have a sliding door or something here because you got the hardware for it.
World's tiniest closet.
So is this the
World's smallest closet. It's a 50s ranch though, so. Honestly, it doesn't flow too terribly.
Larger closet.
What is this?
Bathroom.
Oh, this is
And
the master.
Guys, I
This-
love this place.
Yeah, we're.
This is awesome.
I
you
think
can't have it.
If you don't get it, I'm gonna get it.
we're throwing down money.
No,
We're throwing it down.
Ask them real quick.
You can think, I mean, this is almost like,
A mother-in-law almost. Like you could have somebody live in one.
are you gonna how you, cause what, I mean, is this showing like what, 4 bedrooms in?
No, they were saying 3 and 2. 3, 2. So you would have to leave this bath open because you need to have one for people.
3, 4. If you
So
count,
one, yeah,
you have to go to the other bedroom.
but you know what, I mean, like,
This has a spa tub. Needs cleaned though, or I don't know if the spa part works.
what's your end game on it?
Well, we were mainly looking for either a flip or a rental, but this might be coming owner occupied. Because we could use that whole back space for our business, and then the barn could be the death pile where we source from when we need to list more stuff. Stuff that could be exposed to the elements.
When I tell you that our house is like
It's chaos, and
house,
the business has outgrown the house.
and you
And-
know how big that house is. It's outgrown the house and the garage.
Yeah, so it really needs a
Can I
dedicated
go in and go
space.
shopping in it?
What's that?
I said, can I go in and go shopping?
If
What
you
do
want to
you
come
want?
fix my house, you probably could. Yeah, we could probably work that
If
out.
it's something you're looking for, we probably have it. Not kidding. Why
I was
would
looking
you?
for a good deal.
What would you
Well,
use this for?
this
Like
is-
a
well-
sitting room?
Well, let's discuss strategy here, because like we need to make like we keep losing these damn Springboro deals, and I'm kind of tired of it. Do you think you could give them a quick ring, real quick, and say we'll give you the 150? Let's call it,
Well.
or just
I
to
mean-
try the strategy, maybe sometimes being first.
Well, I mean, I could be like, yeah, I mean, they probably, because there was already showings before us.
Oh, there were.
Yeah. Somebody else says.
How long will it take to get an offer in?
I mean, I can get it written up on my phone, you know, in probably 20 minutes.
Well, super quick. Yeah, let's go ahead and put in the offer for 150. I mean, you could just write it up as conventional in the offer, say that we're expecting we're going to do 5% down. I mean, if we decide to do this as an investment, we'll do 25% or whatever.
So
if we
are
have
you
to.
wanting to do an inspection?
I mean, what do you think?
Probably. It'll at least give us
Well,
a good
if-
idea of.
I mean, honestly, the only thing I really care about is that dip, but I don't really think that's
Okay.
life threatening to you.
No inspection contingency.
Do you want to go no inspection contingency?
Is that what you want to do?
Well, if we do an inspection contingency, he might reject our offer.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking.
Okay.
Because my.
It's an investor to an investor. Typically, there's not
Right,
like,
because he's thinking, hey,
contingencies.
we know it needs some work.
All right, cool.
All right, guys, so as you kind of saw, we had a little bit of strategy session there with our agent, and he verbally offered on site there and then wrote up the offer and sent it to him very quickly. We rushed that offer because sometimes it can be best to be first and just say, hey, we're going to give you what you want. Let's make this happen. Honestly, my biggest fear with that property and how the market is that we would have ended up in some sort of bidding war back and forth, and then it doesn't become worth it anymore. There's always going to be somebody else with some kind of amount of money that they
they got to put to work somewhere is what, you know, oh, I've got to find somewhere to put my money. Well, you know, we like to make profit here, at least on this channel. So we don't just put our money places. We try and get good deals. Honestly, what he was asking was very fair. Showings were booked all day already, and we got in there pretty early. You can even see in the footage, there's that lady, she's looking around the back there while we're finishing up our showing, taking footage on her phone and everything. I think I've actually seen her before at another deal where I think she beat us. So and we got this one, so that's good. Yeah, so with that being said, I've got a lot of numbers in front of me here. I do want to give you guys the breakdown. So things that have already been dealt with on this property include a roof in 2013. Yeah, it's 7 years old, but it does look pretty good. It's in good shape. We're probably not going to have any concerns there. A furnace from 2019, so that's actually very recent. The hot water tank was replaced in 2015, so kind of new, but not super new. A lot of hot water tanks need replaced after 10 years. Some can last longer. It just kind of varies. And there's a new Samsung range in there from 2018, which is decent and good enough for me. As long as it works and fires up, it looks fine. It looked like the cabinetry and the countertops were newer as well. Those won't have to be replaced. Again, we rushed that offer. We ended up paying or offering $150,000, no contingencies, no closing costs offered. Once he agreed to that, we did ask through an addendum, and he agreed to it. He was fine with it, that we do $153,000, but the seller pays $3,000 in our closing cost, which is 2%, which is the maximum they can pay if we go conventional investment. So he agreed to that, signed the addendum. It's no change in his net, but it does help us put $3,000 more into the mortgage and have $3,000 less that we have to put into it. So there's two options that we want to do with this property. Essentially, we're either going to rent it out and go for the cash flow side of it, or we're going to move into it and rent out where we currently live and take its cash flow. Obviously, we have a lot of stuff in this room, and moving everything would suck. But it would give us a decent enough resale space. You have that garage, you have that room adjacent to it, that Four Seasons room. They're both heated, which is awesome. You know, we could put metal shelving around all of it, do what we can there, as well as that barn outside for the stuff that can be out in the elements a little bit. That doesn't have to be temperature controlled. So that would be pretty cool. However, it's not exactly what we're looking for. So we were looking for basically a house on a country road a semi could get to that has a giant pole barn. Those properties do exist in Ohio. They're just not super common, but when they come on the market, you know, it's something that we were planning on taking a stab at to move in. So one of my thoughts is maybe we just rent this one out. It's a good deal. We still want it. We're locked in anyways. Or we go ahead and so we go ahead and rent it out, and then we go and get a 5% down FHA or something like that, or conventional even, on another house that has a giant pole barn that a truck could bring in a whole truckload. My end goal for the business is to have a couple employees and we just process that inventory and get it done, get it up on eBay and have a ton of listings and be a pretty decent sized liquidator. As well as still picking. I'm always going to do that, so don't worry guys, there's still going to be garage sale videos. With that being said, let's get into some numbers here. This is the situation that if we go ahead and rent it out. So we should be able to get at least $1,650, and I'm being very conservative on that. I'm going to do some more assessments, but I really think that we'll get at least that in rent. So that's our income. Now our expenses for the property are going to be the following. $155 in tax, that is the property taxes, $100 in insurance, that's an estimate, a pretty close one, vacancy rate of 10%, which is kind of high, but this is a very conservative estimate of cash flow of $165, a repair fund of $100 a month, a CapEx fund of $100 a month, and our monthly mortgage, this is actually just the principal and interest, of $521, and this is assuming a 3.75 rate, which I've been informed that we could get from one lender. The lender that we work with, we're still hammering out the details on that. So that's the estimate, and that the interest rate might seem high, guys, but when you buy a property as an investment and you do not own or occupy it, it is seen as higher risk. So because it's higher risk, you have to come in with basically 25% down, in our situation at least, and you have to pay a little bit higher on the interest rate. So you're not going to get a 2.75 if you're not owner occupied. It's just not happening right now. But if you really think about it, 3.75 is a crazy low interest rate anyways. So that's at a total expenses of $1,141. This is a pretty good estimate of what our expenses would be. So we're looking at a $1,650 rent minus $1,141, and that would be $509 a month of monthly cash flow. That would be $6,108 annually in cash flow. Now, going a little bit deeper for you guys, our down payment being 25% would be $37,500. Our closing costs would be $2,000, because I estimate that we'd have about $5,000 in total closing costs. That's like everything, even like the county filing fee, all of that stuff. And since $3,000 of it's being covered by the seller, we're going to estimate that we still have to come to closing with an additional $2,000. Our rehab budget for this one is actually very low. So a lot of things are already done. It doesn't really need a ton. So I'm going to estimate that we could make that house decent at $10,000. Our total out of pocket will be $49,500. So that's a cash on cash return of 12.34% on our money. So essentially you'd be looking at like 8 years to get your money back through the cash flow method. And that's not taking into account rent rises. So if we're able to raise the rent $50 every year, it's going to shorten that window, or $100 or whatever. So the situation changes if we move in. So if we move in, we would rent out this place. Now, I'm not going to go into all the numbers of our house that we're currently in, or this video would be too long. However, we'd be looking at approximately $300 a month in cash flow renting this place out. And we would end up at $3,600 for the course of 12 months. And our move-in to that house, we would qualify for, we would not qualify for FHA, as the agent owner did not own it for more than 90 days, and that's a requirement to get an FHA loan. However, we would go in conventional at 5%. I was told by a institutional bank, since I'm not sponsored by them, I'm not mentioning them, that we could possibly even get as low as 3% on that conventional, but we'll go 5% today for just the norm. So we'd be looking at moving in with a $7,500 down payment. That means we get to keep an additional $30,000 of our money, and we could have closing costs of $2,000. Again, that'd be about where we'd be at. Our rehab is still going to be about that $10,000 mark, and our total out of pocket would be $19,500. So here's the thing. If we go ahead and move out in 2 years from that place to go ahead and do it all over again, but we keep the property, and then we decide that we're going to rent it out, we would actually have a 22.65% cash on cash return for that. So you would, and that's only if we're renting 2 years from now at $1,650. Probably add another $100 or $200 to it by then. Rents tend to go up, guys, in most markets. So yeah, and this is, first off, a little bit of background. This is an A-level market. It's been voted one of the best places to live in America. It's amazing that you could even get into a place like that for the price that we're in. And once we fix it up and everything, I think it'll be worth around $220, $230. So it is absolutely a good deal. Super happy with the pickup on that. I guess to put it into context, we we'll give up the opportunity to move into what would be an even better resale spot if we find one, if we move now. So what would you guys do? Let's just hear it in the comments. My wife and I have to make a decision today, basically, for which direction we're going loan-wise. So we don't really have much time. We have the deal locked up, and we wanted a deal, and it is so hard to get one right now. So we're keeping the deal. That's it's ours. What's the Ben Mala? Money.
Gosh.
If you want to make some money, you gotta buy real estate or whatever. Dude, that guy's awesome. If you haven't seen his channel, I mean, huge YouTuber, but check him out. Awesome guy. Don't know him, but awesome guy on YouTube at least. So anyhow, yep. That's all I've got for right now. We've got to make a decision quick. Tell us in the comments what you think. If you like this video, give me some feedback on it. It's a little bit different than my normal stuff. It is reseller based though, in the sense of take a look around the room. This is what our stock room looks like in the midst of Q4 madness. I'll go ahead, I'll grab the camera here, show you what I mean. I mean, this is just one room of our house. This is the best looking room of anywhere that we're holding inventory right now. You should see our death pile, it's insane. And we're busting at the seams here. Stuff's just kind of scattered everywhere. And it's just, you know, we need a more conducive environment to work in. This house would be more conducive to work in. However, I think it limits us again pretty quickly. So maybe it's just a perfect rental and an investment side, and then we move and get a cheap down payment in two or 3 months when something else comes on the market. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and also like the video. Wait, rotate this here. Like the video.
Subscribe.
And
tell your friends.
And
press the notification button.
Bell. It looks like a
whatever.
bell, guys. You gotta hit that. Sure. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Updates coming soon, and some more picking content tomorrow. Thanks.